Hey, John, you've talked a lot about how adversity can be a good thing, for you guys. You guys have had plenty of it in the first 14 games here, but it's only 14 games. How do you keep this thing? I mean, you have 42 games left on the schedule. How do you keep it from going sideways at this point?
Well, I think you guys make a little bit more out of it than we do, quite honestly. We just go about our business, and that's all we've done. Yeah, uh, we're not overthinking any situation that comes our way. We try to attack the problem, get the problem solved, and we get about our business. And there'll be other problems coming down the road. That's part of a season. So you guys are a little bit more worried or anxious about it than we are. We're just trying to do it the right way and problem solve when we need to, and try to get about our business.
Did you have a conversation with Patrick Laine today? Do you feel pretty comfortable with that situation?
We're by it. Yeah, we're by it, and we're getting ready to play Chicago. Yeah, we're done with it.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Aaron Portzline. Go ahead, Aaron.
Thanks, Glenn. Thanks, John. Laine will play Thursday in Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you heard from him, or you?
We are by it, and we're getting ready I'm not speaking on the subject anymore. And don't ask any of the players either, because we've just moved by it. Everything's fine, guys.
Everything's fine. All right, thanks.
Everything's fine. Thanks for asking, though.
You bet.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Mark Scheig. Go ahead, Mark.
Thank you. John, I'll ask you about Alex Texier, because I know you've mentioned in the past that you'd like to send him back out there, but he was limited to under 10 minutes the other night. What are you seeing in his game, and is he out of center for now?
Yeah, it's been inconsistent. There's no question he's always going to play hard. It's just been a little bit inconsistent as far as some of the things going on in the ice, his reads. I just felt at the center ice position, it was catching up with him a bit. We're hoping to give him another chance back there, but we want to put him on wing for right now to simplify things for him so we can try to get his game back.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Jared Smalley. Go ahead, Jared.
Hi, John. Considering the position he played and the experience he brought, what do you lose with not having Mikko on this team? And what's your thought on that conversation? He mentioned that yesterday about going to you and the management team and just talking through his thinking about why he wanted to move on.
Yeah, the thing I was most excited about with him joining us was I think some of the influence he could have on some younger players coming into the league about what it is to be a pro. And he has been that business-like, straight ahead, game face type of guy for so many years and such a great career. That was what's exciting to me as far as rubbing off on some of our guys. He very rarely he admits, and we knew going in, his game had he's gotten older and it's slowed down a bit, and we could see that as we started, but there was still a tremendous amount of value towards the room. And but you know what, I have a ton of respect for him as far as going out on his call. I've seen situations like this where guys are hanging on, and especially a guy like that. I'm happy for him, because I don't think he's going to hurt his reputation of a guy being scratched and out and not playing and struggling or whatever it may be. He was honest with himself, and I believe he will be back in the game somewhere. I hope he is, because he's too good a hockey guy. I'm disappointed because I wanted to get to know him more and kind of learn from him also. So, yeah, I'm glad I met him. Glad I had spent some time with him, and this organization will do anything they possibly can to help him.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Allison Lucan. Go ahead, Allison.
Hi, John. I wanted to ask you about your thoughts on the current state of the penalty kill. You have some new, slightly different looks on the forward side. And are you still encouraging that offensive aggressiveness the unit has had in the past?
Yeah, we are, Allison. We're trying to go about it the same way. a lot of new faces, a lot of teaching going on with it. It started off pretty well. It's been a struggle of late. If they don't score goals, we've still given up quite a few chances. So we're going to continue working at it. And obviously our special teams are things that we have to continue to work at because we're just not consistent enough with both of them. So that's how, that's all we can do is just try to get better.
Do you look for an opportunity like what Cam created last game to buoy that unit again on the aggressive side while hopefully giving them more confidence defensively?
Yeah, Cam has some of the best anticipation skills as a penalty killer. I think him playing on a power play helps him because I think he can almost see where the next play could be or anticipates that play. And I think his quickness comes into play. We are certainly, in every one of the meetings that Shazi has, he's always pushing them to try to get up the ice with it. And if there's an opportunity with so many teams playing with 4 and some teams playing with 5 forwards, testing them that way when we have an opportunity. So, Allison, the aggression, the attitude and the aggression part of it is still there. We're just inconsistent with it. And where there's inconsistencies is doing it all together. That's so important when you're aggressive with a penalty kill is to make sure everybody's moving at the same time aggressively.
Thanks, John.
You bet.
Okay, next we go to Jeff Svoboda. Go ahead, Jeff.
Thanks, Glenn. Thanks, Torts. You've talked a little bit here recently just about being disjointed. How hard is it to kind of get your groove back when some of the things that have been kind of the bedrocks of this team that you've been able to lean into in the past are kind of struggling right now? Or do you see things in your game you can lean into to kind of pull yourself out of where you are right now?
No, we've just got to keep on. We've decided as a staff we've got to kind of teach some more details of our team concept. Touched upon some face-offs today, assignments on face-offs, winning and losing in certain areas. We're going to concentrate on all parts of our game, and it has to come within season. It's almost like a little bit of what we do in camp that we're going to have to do during the days and even game days, show some tape of some of our concept, forechecking, D-zone coverage, all things that come into play, neutral zone, because of just the lack of cohesiveness. And the biggest thing that we need to be consistent with, and I think it'll solve a lot of problems, is just being in groups of 5. We're spread out on the ice defensively. We're spread out on the ice offensively. We're not able to forecheck because we're spread out. We've got to get closer together and support one another and go up and down the ice together in groups of 5.
And that was such a strength, especially as the season went on last year. Is it surprising that it's not come together so far this year, or is that just part of a weird year and new players and not having the practice time and things like that?
Yeah, I'm not going to blame it on practice time because because you can get it done with tape. I think it's just a crazy year. I do think there's a lack of concentration because of atmospheres in buildings. I do. I think there's a lack of a mental awareness and intensity on the ice during games because it's a little bit stale out there at certain times. So those are the things that I think will help cure us is just our concentration. And, to me, it's the mental part of the game, our readiness.
Sorry, guys. Next, we'll go to Clay Hall. Go ahead, Clay.
George, the fact that you have a strong room, a culture that you talked about the other night, doesn't that also play a part when whatever happens, someone gets out of line or somebody says, hey, this is the way we do it here? And it's not just the coach and the player, but it's your allies in the room. Did they have an impact on the Line A situation?
Yeah, I didn't talk to the players much about it.
Okay.
I'm sure they talked to Patty, but I want to make sure you understand this isn't a situation that that stayed around too much longer until after the game. After the game, this is by. Again, I know you guys have to report on it, but we moved by it. And did the players have? I think there's constant communication about a lot of things, how we do things, with so many new players coming to us and in our lineup. So we've got a good room. We have a good room that way, but this wasn't it didn't last. It wasn't around too long. It ended after the game.
It was nipped in the bud.
Yeah, you have a situation, you take care of the situation.
Sure.
We openly took care of it, and then we moved by it. I know it takes on a life of its own after, which I totally get as far as the coverage of it and all that. I will say one last thing. I told him, I wouldn't talk about this, but I need to say one last thing on it, which I think is totally unfair to Patty, is some of the situation where people are writing, he didn't work hard enough, and the intensity or bad mistakes. As I told you guys after the game, it had nothing to do with him being on the ice, and so that's what bothers me the most about it. Is we moved by it right away. I don't think Patty should be putting that shade of light that he was lazy or he didn't work hard enough, because that's not what this kid's about. We know he's a great competitor, and he's a really good player, and he's going to be a big part of our team here. That's the thing that bothers me the most about the aftermath of this. Everybody tends to make things up when they really don't know what the hell's going on. So that's all I'll say on it.
Thanks for clearing the air there. Appreciate it.
You got it, Clay.
Okay, next we'll go to Dave Metzel. Go ahead, Dave.
John, just a question about center ice now with Mikko leaving. That had to surprise you. How does that impact the dynamic of the way you guys try to solve your issues up the middle of the ice?
Yeah, Stens is going to go in there. Stens deserves a chance. We played him in the bubble some games. He played well. Every time I put him in the lineup, he's played well. So he's going to be in there. And then, Jack's going to be one of our centers, and we've got Nasher. Well, we'll see where we go from there. As Jens is probably going to play a little bit until we get Tex a little bit more comfortable. So yeah, we get about it. We put the next guy in and try to find a way.
Thanks.
Okay. Next we'll go to Ken Campbell. Go ahead, Ken.
Hi, John. I know you said you're not going to say anything more on it, but I wanted to ask you one last thing about whether or not you can confirm or deny the reports that Patrick had a confrontation with one of the coaches. And
I have no comment on that at all. The thing I wanted to clear up, there are so many things that could happen within a hockey game with emotion stuff, but the thing I wanted to clear up, Kenny, was just, I don't like the light that he's been shedding by a number of media outlets saying that, he doesn't work hard enough or whatever was written. He's a competitor, and he's going to be a huge part of this team. But I'm not going to get into what happens. This stuff happens every day too. And as I said, it was cleared up right away in our room before the players left after the game.
Fair enough. Thanks.
Thank you.
We got time for a few more. Next, we'll go to Michael Arace. Go ahead, Michael.
Where you been, Mike? Guess he's still not here.
Michael, are you there?
Sorry about that. John, will Dean Kukan be back in the lineup, and do you think he's responded well?
As far as the lineup, I think Kooks is going to probably come out for tomorrow's game. And I say this and I think he's probably, for most of the early part of the season, he's played some really good hockey. I think there's been some struggles in his game the past two games. We're gonna look at some other people. Peeker's probably going to go in as a right-hand shot. He'll probably go in, and then we'll after Thursday's game, we'll see where we're at. So I think that's Mike. I think that's what we're going to be doing with our back end.
Okay, we'll go to Stephen Wino. Go ahead, Stephen.
Hey, John, do you enjoy this schedule? I mean, the multi-game series against these teams, and I know, I guess, from a pre-scout standpoint, it makes it easier, but do you enjoy the intensity of these games, how that kind of builds up against an opponent?
Well, I'm not so sure I've seen the intensity build up because we're playing the same team. I don't think I've seen that yet. You know, the preference for me is you touch all cities. You go to all the places, but obviously that can't be done. As far as I think as the season keeps on going on, I think you're going to be able to look at tendencies of the team more, like a playoff series where we really zero in on the other team. When usually this club here doesn't do much pre-scout on the opposition. We know what they're about. We don't give much information to the players, but I think we'll be able to give more information as you play these. Like how many times we play Chicago here in the past month? We're going to play them a number of times, and I think it's Chicago, Nashville forever coming up here. So you'll be able to, I think, try to exploit some things as they will with you. And like I looked at a face-off play we ran the other night, and Carolina sat right on it, and it was a wrinkle that we were going to try to bring into our game. Second game, they know it's there; they're sitting right on it. So I think those things come into play. As far as the intensity, I just haven't seen that type of stuff manifest itself right now.
Okay, and finally we'll go to Jeff Rimmer. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Torch, thanks for this. Can you talk about Stenlund a little more detail? Looks like from practice today, you're going to have him playing with Bjorkstrand and Domi and his impact that you're looking for.
Yeah, he's got a great shot. I think he's going to help our power play coming off the flank with his shot. Has done some good things in our power play. We put him there before. A big body up the middle of the ice, very deceptive skater. And I think has waited his turn and has kind of sat in the weeds, pushed hard, and has improved the past couple of years as we've gone along here. So, he makes we score a goal the other night. I forget which one is, but he beats a guy wide to start the offensive play. He takes a guy on, beats him wide, and we end up scoring a goal. I forget which one it was. But I just think he's improved in all facets of his game, and he's going to get an opportunity. That center ice position is through all the things that have gone on here the past couple of months has opened up. So he gets an opportunity. I hope he seizes it.